Y'all know what's going on. It's time for another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker. Before I get started with this episode, I want to let y'all know that Rivals is coming out. Me and Boo collaborated on this book to give you a better understanding of what went on with Chris Sr. and Chris Jr. when they were in rival games going at each other. It's a phenomenal book. I think you're going to enjoy it. It's based off of the episodes that I did on my show. I think you're going to really enjoy this book. It's going to be available August the 1st on jtb.org. That's jtb.org. That's Boo's website. For all of y'all that don't know, just go on his website or go on to his YouTube page and click on the link or whatever to his page, and you'll be able to order that book. I appreciate all the support me and him both do. But let me get to this episode. This is another episode in that saga, in that drama about folks running numbers up in the penitentiary. Look here, check it out, y'all. In the first episode, I gave you the breakdown of how LJ and Big Mac came to me and convinced me to get involved in the running numbers game in the penitentiary, right? I was reluctant at first, you know what I'm saying, trying to figure out all the ins and outs, the do's and don'ts with the game, because I'm telling you, you got to watch the folks. Some folks they with it, they shysted, they try to get you, even if you one of their own, but it looked like everything was on the level. Plus, I put some safeguards in place. I'm going to let you know what they are later on in the show. But look, sit back, relax, and enjoy this show, y'all, because it's finna get real thick. You know what I'm saying? Folks running numbers in the penitentiary, y'all. Look here, y'all, check it out. The first day we running numbers in the penitentiary, don't nobody hit. Now, if you listen to the last episode, you know how it go, right? All the money that's coming off of the numbers, the people that don't hit, man, we splitting that up. Me, LJ, Big Mac, and the rest of the folks is on the board, right? The money that goes to the fam is coming off of tickets, half of the money of the tickets that do hit, right? So at the end of the day, everybody eating, it's all a risk, you know what I'm saying? But look here, I was blown away at how many people were getting these tickets every day. It started out a little slow. You get 200, 300 people playing tickets. But here's the thing. They put more than $1 on these tickets. So in the first week alone, right, we get almost like $1,300. Now, it don't sound like a lot of money, but it is when you look at it like they just giving us this money. Now, a lot of that, let me keep it real, a lot of that is not money. It's not cash money. Because, you know, in the penitentiary, you got to take what you can get. You know what I'm saying? Pouches is currency in here. You feel what I'm saying? So when I say pouches, I'm talking about that's how we buy our food. You know what I'm saying? We get chicken pouches, tuna pouches, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. Back in that day, we get canned chili. They changed the canned chili because we was using them cans, hit people in the head up in here, you know what I'm saying, and knocking them out. So they took the cans out and put it all in pouches and stuff later on, right? But we were taking some food items, you know, sodas and stuff like that. So it's like we got to find somewhere to put all of this stuff. Plus, you know what I'm saying, the little cash that we had, we divided that up, sent that out. So a lot of brothers kept theirs in. I don't keep no green money in here. I always sent that out, you know what I'm saying, back in the day. But at the end of the day, money's rolling. Keep in mind, I'm still moving drugs and all this, right? So I'm like, man, things are great. Oh my goodness. You know what I'm saying? This is a great idea. After a week or two, ain't nobody hitting. Some of them getting close, but ain't nobody hitting. You playing straight and the combination. Ain't nobody hit nothing yet. Now you starting to hear grumbling on the streets. Even though they can see the numbers, just like we can see the numbers, you know what I'm saying, on the Chicago channel. We can see the numbers like they can see them. But you people starting to get disgruntled. And when you don't want them to get disgruntled when they're giving away money, because like I say, in here, you know, money is a little bit more valuable than what it is on the street because you don't have a lot of it, and any little amount helps, right? And when people are taking risk, you got to always give them a little bit to stay hopeful about. Oh, you can't win it if you ain't in it. So you got to be in it to win it, right? So I'm sitting down with my number 2, and I'm like, man, what we going to do about, you know what I'm saying, all these guys grumbling about, ain't nobody going to win, they ought to stop, this, this, and that. And then he said, man, I don't know. I said, man, go get LJ and Big Mac. Man, I got an idea, man. I want to see if y'all in for it, right? So LJ and Big Mac come out there. And like I said, they older, so they feel like, you know, everything's running smooth. They feel like they just top dog now, right? They just doing their thing and all this and that, right? And it's all good, you know what I'm saying? I ain't tripping about nothing like that. But it's like, We got this, folks. I said, but let me ask you a question, bro. I said, what we gonna do about all of the people that's grumbling about, ain't nobody gonna hit and it's just giving away money and all this and that. I'd rather buy me some weed. They saying all kind of crazy stuff. You feel what I'm saying? They said, man, ain't nothing we can do about that, man. We just got to keep pushing, man, and feeding them hope. I said, but here's another way we can feed them hope, man. We find us somebody that's not the folks, right? And we let them hit. And we have them spreading that around, talking like, yeah, I hit. And the word is spread all over the compound. Somebody did hit. You feel what I'm saying? And now, LJ and Big Mac looking at me like, they start laughing like, look here, we've been thinking about that, man, but we didn't even know how to bring that to you. I said, yeah, right. Yeah, right. You just want to take credit for everything. But it's cool, though. I don't care if you take credit for it, you know what I'm saying? But here's what we're going to do then. Let's give somebody an opportunity to hit that pick 3 straight. You know what I'm saying? And give them a little 200. Because that's what we was going to give them for hitting the pick 3 in the penitentiary. On the town, they would have probably got 5, 6, maybe $700. You know what I'm saying? But we ain't doing it like that up in here, right? Can't do it like that. You know what I'm saying? So we did it. Folks didn't want to get this guy, you know what I'm saying? He's a peon, and gave him the rundown. He was laid back dude, and he'd keep his mouth shut. He wasn't going to get the 200. We were going to hit him with a nifty 50 and tell him to tell everybody he won, and he got the 200. You feel what I'm saying? He going to get to keep him a nifty 50. So he went along with the move, right? Now he out talking about he hit, whoop-de-woo, this and that. We gave him the number. Everybody looking at the TV, they see the numbers legit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, dang. Now everybody's like, man, putting money in. They like, yeah, they can't take them licks like that. Because you got to keep in mind, you got a lot of people that they like to gamble in here and play the numbers and stuff like that because they want to see you down. They want to see you broke. And then at the same time, they know that we all selling drugs too, right? So they feel like if we hit them hard enough, they're going to have to pay in some of that dope too, right? You know what I'm saying? The game got a lot of twists and turns to it, y'all. I'm telling you what's real in here now. But some of y'all don't hear me. Some of y'all don't hear me. You don't want to hear it, but you're going to hear it anyway. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is in here. Because some of y'all that's been in the penitentiary know what I'm talking about. Everybody trying to break the numbers, man. Everybody trying to break the ticket, man. I'm going to tell you about them tickets too in another show. But and that's somebody that running tickets is like gambling on football and basketball. It's sport betting. You know what I'm saying? All of that kind of stuff. Everybody say, I'm going to knock them out. I'm going to break them. Because they feel like they lucky. They feel like they know what they're doing, right? But when you're talking about these numbers, look here, y'all. It's pure luck. It's pure luck. So now we rolling. We rolling. I'm talking about the numbers done went up. You know what I'm saying? We got officers playing tickets. You feel what I'm saying? Running numbers and all this and that, playing the numbers for us. We got all of this thing going on. We got people all over the compound talking about it, right? Now keep in mind, it was a little looser back then. You know, so you can get away with that. Anything that would keep stress out of the compound, anything that would keep people from killing each other, they didn't sanction it. You feel what I'm saying? But they just stayed out of the way. You feel what I'm saying? And that's pretty much what you see when it was going on. We was running them numbers, right? They knew what we were doing, but they stayed out of the way. And I'm telling you, look here. Sometimes when they was bringing in the hall, folks in them would be running up the sidewalk, the blacktop, with bags of commissary. You know, you go to Unit 5 or Unit 6, and you collecting all the numbers for that day. And like I say, some people have to pay with food items. You got a bag full of stuff. Ain't no paying later. Ain't no credit playing no numbers, y'all. You collecting it right then and there on the spot, and that's what was going on. So we got people all morning running stuff up to the cell. Got to get it to the brothers that hold the box. You know what I'm saying? The treasurer got to manipulate and move around all kind of ways, man. And he got to get on the phone and get them numbers turned in every morning. Every morning the folks them out on the town. But guess what happened? After about a month, we got hit for real. About 3 or 4 people hit. You feel what I'm saying? So we got to come out and pay this money. And I was glad with it, right? I was glad that we had to do it because people started to feel like, yeah, we can do this, we're going to get them. It makes people feel good when they hit, even if they done spent way more than they going to get when they hit. You feel me? It's a psychological pimping. You feel what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, bro called the town and said, look, we got 3 people to hit, send that money. And then how we did it back in the day, you got to remember, wasn't no green dot, wasn't no cash out. All you had was Western Union. You feel what I'm saying? To send money out, and then you can have somebody send money to put on your account through Western Union. Back in the day, y'all. You feel me? So that's what we did. We give them the name and the number of the individuals that hit, and that money went straight to their books. It was simple. It was simple, and it was immediate. We didn't wait at all. So now the talk is all around. Now, we did have one brother that wanted his money in cash, right? And, because he was cool, we kept that on the low, and we had the cash, gave it to him, and it was done. And then the money on the town, had it sent to the house. You feel me? Yeah, because you don't really, green money in here is just passing around. You really ain't doing much, to have green money in the penitentiary unless you're trying to, bribe some officer or something like that, right? But when you got as much going on as what we had going on, the best thing to do is to send your green money out so you can keep re-upping on your pack if that's what you got to do. Or, just stacking it up, trying to pay for a lawyer, whatever you got going on. Help your people, whatever, you feel me? So I sent all my money out, all of it out. I ain't really need it in here. I got so much stuff. When I say stuff, I had food under the bed, all it all. I'm doing good. And if I needed to pay somebody some money, I'd make arrangements to do that. It really wasn't no big deal to me, right? So now the numbers rackets is running so smoothly, I'm just spooked. Every day, we chopping up almost $1,000 because people putting in their numbers. And sometimes that's food items, sometimes that's money, but we chopping it up. We doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. And then every time somebody hit, nobody hit pick 4 for a long time. We going months before anybody hit pick 4 because you're going to get a couple of grand if you hit a pick 4. Straight a combination, whichever way it comes, right? So nobody hit that for a while, but when they did, paid it off like clockwork. But you know how it go, right? Didn't I tell y'all early on when I was describing, the folks, right? How folks now, I'm talking about LJ and Big Mac, how they'll look at you. They looking at you like a snake. You know what I'm saying? Trying to see weakness. Trying to smell some fear. You know what I'm saying? Sticking their tongue out. When a snake is looking at you and it's sticking his tongue out, doing all that. See, they stick that tongue out because that tongue, they taste in the air. You feel what I'm saying? So they can pick up on whatever little chemicals in the air. That's how they can spot their prey. You feel what I'm saying? That's how they get a sense of where you at. And then they're going to strike. That's what LJ and Big Mac was doing. Everything running good, y'all. I'm talking about smooth like butter. Real margarine. You understand what I'm saying? But here we go. Now all of a sudden, I'm starting to hear rumblings. People that say they put in tickets. You feel what I'm saying? And they hit. People that say that they can't get their tickets in because, they behind. And I said, how are they behind though? They've been letting them gamble on credit. We don't do credit. And then who's really keeping up with the accurate number of tickets coming in? Because see, at first we were just trusting it's on the honor system. I was tripping when I did that anyway. You feel me? Because you got to watch folks now. Even though, like I said, we chopping up, $1,000 a day almost in food and money. But then they skimming off the top of that. It's always a problem when you getting money with people. You feel me? Especially, I'm talking about illegal money. You got to watch them when it's legal, but especially when it's illegal money. It's always a problem. So now we starting to see people coming. They ain't paying no attention to it because they don't understand how this thing's set up. So they figure we the folks, we all brothers, we all in on, we all understand what's going on. So they'll try to catch a brother and say, look, take it, send down and get this to LJ or Big Mac for me later on, man. This is to cover my ticket from this morning. Oh, wait a minute. So they didn't pay immediately. So the only money we chopping up is what we know that comes in. So when that item, those two items, that'll go straight to LJ and Big Mac. Somebody cheating. So now I'm wondering how many other people are playing on credit. I'm wondering how many other people say they put in winning tickets and didn't get their money. You feel me? Because I'm sitting here thinking, wait a minute. The only person that gets to make the phone call to the house is the treasurer. Right? That's what me and the gov decided. Now, either my treasurer is crooked or somebody that went around my back. LJ and Big Mac. And they're calling the streets and manipulating the scene Again, like I said, they older than us, so they know a little bit more. And they got these relationships. They might not have a rank, but they got these relationships with these brothers where they can say, look, I'm going to call you at this time. You feel what I'm saying? And say this and say that. Or they letting them know in the morning, these tickets right here hit, this go to me. Don't worry about it. Don't tell, you know what I'm saying, Joe and them about it. That's the only way that could have worked. Turns out that's what was going on, but I couldn't prove it at first. Y'all know how it go. Y'all know how it go when you get grimy with GD. You got to figure out a way to prove it. And if you prove it, then you can do something about it. Now I'm sitting here thinking, wait a minute, do the gov know this? Because if the gov know, then ain't nothing I can do. Even if I complain about it, they deny it. I can't prove nothing. I can't take the word of a peon if somebody's hitting and not getting their money. But it's messing up the business in here. So you know what I did? I lied. See, in here, you can lie as the truth and get people to talk more than they would talk if you presented them with the truth in an accusatory way. Did that make any sense? I'm sure it didn't. But that's how it is in here. So I went to LJ and Big Mac with my number 2. Now, even though I'm younger than them, I'm in charge. So I got the authority to split their head to the ooh-wee if I want to, just because. You feel me? I'll make the charges up later. You feel what I'm saying? I know how to rig stuff too. You feel me? It's Springfield, SPT. I don't play either. So when I bumped down on LJ and Big Mac, I said, look here, folks. We got a problem. We got some guys saying they hit and they ain't get their bread. Let me hear something. Now here's the thing. When you play numbers on the streets, what do you do, y'all? What do you get to prove you hit? You get a copy of the numbers, and at the bottom, it's the signature of the person that took the numbers up, right? So they know who ticket that belonged to. So you got to match that ticket when you call the number house, even though they probably know you already. You call the number house, so you present the ticket to whoever run your number and say, man, where my money at? That ticket that he give you, that copy of your ticket, that's your proof that you hit. You feel what I'm saying? Absent him just taking your word. So we did the same thing in here. So I got folks them to get all of them guys that say, the few guys, and we wasn't a lot of them, get the few guys that say they hit to give you their ticket. Sure enough, right number, signature, everything. So when I present myself to LJ and Big Mac, I said, so what is this? Did these guys hit and you not give them their money? And how is it that my treasurer don't know about these guys? You feel me? How is it that he don't know about these guys? When he called home, you know what I'm saying, and said that, you know, I had some people hit because they got at him. I had some people to hit. The folks on the street say, no, they ain't had no tickets in. But then I got a ticket right here. How is that? What's really going on with that? So LJ and Big Man look at each other. Then they look at me. And then I look at number 2. I'm like, okay, what we all looking at each other for? What I want to know is, where that money at? Is this true? LJ and Big Man said, yeah, it's true, folks. We've been scamming. Now I don't even know what to say because I was going at them at a line, then they come with the truth. I said, so how long you been doing that? I said, we getting a few people here, a few people there, but it ain't going to change nothing. You know what I'm saying? Everything's still smooth. I said, man, I'm not finna argue with you about this. Pay these folks this money, man, and get past that, man. Just pay these folks that money. We ain't going to do that. We making enough money keeping it clean. They said, all right, folks, we going to do that. And they go get it straight. Everything is taken care of. But then I said, how is it that my treasurer didn't know? Then they said, I don't know what's going on, this and that. So I called the gov. I said, something's going on, man. Something's wrong. If them guys out there on the town is not telling my people what's really going on, then this ain't going to work. This ain't going to work. You feel me? And he said, I'll take care of it. So he switched up the dude to somebody else that my treasurer talked to. And he laid it down. You only talk to this person. So now I done cut LJ and Big Mac out from being able to do what they were doing, right? Worst thing I could have done then. Because I created some enemies. Old head enemies at that. Now let me tell you, when you create old head enemies, you better be ready for the war that's coming. Especially when you're dealing with money. And that's what I'm going to talk about in this next episode, how they came at me about this money. You feel me? But before I go, I want to let you know again that the book is coming out August the 1st. Rivals, y'all. It's about the episodes. It's based on true events and the episodes that I did on my podcast a while ago called Rivals. It's based on true events. Me and my son, Boo, we collaborated on it so we can give you more information, more insight into this generational gang violence. Check this book out on jtb.org. You feel what I'm saying? That's Boo's website. jtb3.org, I believe, right? But check it out, Boo. Ask Boo. He knows the exact website. I need to know myself when I'm doing all this advertising. But I think it's jtb3.org. And you can get this book for $20, y'all. For $20. We appreciate your support. This has been another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and I say peace, y'all.